Hi, this is Chris, chap in the cap from Motolegends, here today to talk to you about Halvarssons laminated adventure suit, combination called the Lux and Luxor. So here I am with my colleague Billy, and Billy is wearing the Luxor combination. Just one little point, the trousers only come in black, the jacket comes in either this grey or in a black. Now, the Luxor was launched by Halvarssons in the spring of 2018. At that point, they also launched the Valkyrie Wish combination, also a two-layer laminate like this. They were both priced at about £1,000, which at the time seemed like an amazing price. Laminates had been much more expensive than that. Not many people at that stage were using two-layer. Most of them were three layers, so for a laminate this was pretty comfortable as well. This obviously is the more adventure-oriented of the two. The Valkyrie Wish was more about touring and commuting. This had very much an off-road kind of adventure vibe. That having been said, we do not consider suits like this to be proper adventure suits. The reality is that if you're going off-road, if you are going somewhere really hot, if you're going to be working hard off-road, the last thing you want is a membrane, because a waterproof membrane is a windproof membrane, and that means that if you are working hard, if you're generating a lot of heat, your body's not going to be able to breathe particularly well, and the jacket won't vent, so incoming air won't come in easily. When you really go off-road, a proper adventure suit, in our view, is what we would call a three-layer suit, where you can pull out the liner and then you can get the air in, you can breathe much more effectively. However, it's got to be said that Klim produces adventure suits in this same format as laminated suits, so there is form for this kind of suit. Halvarssons is not alone. Having said that, I suppose one of the things you might say is that this is kind of a more affordable Klim Kodiak. In the margin, it's not as good a suit, it has to be said, but it does the same basic things. It's going to be incredibly waterproof, it's going to be well vented and so on, but this suit costs half the price of the Klim Kodiak. So if that's the look you want, if you're an adventure rider doing most of your riding on road and you want the benefits of laminate construction, then this is a far more cost-effective solution than the Klim Kodiak. Anyway, let's take a little bit of a closer look at the jacket, at the styling, and then I'm going to talk through all of the features and details. As a jacket, as you normally find on an adventure style jacket, it's slightly longer, kind of four pocket style. In fact, this doesn't have four external pockets, it's got two here, but up top here we've got vents. Lots of reflective panels, so again, seems to reinforce the fact that this is designed more for riding on the road. It's got these reflective panels on the arms across the back. If you're riding at night, this is going to be a suit that you're not going to get lost in. It's got a lowered back, which is going to work well on the bike. Again, that comes with the territory with a longer four-pocket jacket. It also zips in, so if you want to zip in for the extra security that brings, this has a connecting zip. All Halvarssons items zip into one another. Just in case you were interested, Halvarssons items also zip into rucker items. So, if, for example, if you wanted this jacket, you could zip it into a rucker trouser and so on. In terms of waterproofing, I've mentioned that this is a laminated jacket. It's a two-layer laminate. The membrane that Halvarssons is using is a Dryway Plus. It's a very effective membrane. They've used it for years. We never have any issues with it. Now, obviously, because it's laminate, this jacket's never going to wet out. And that's the big thing about laminates. You can ride for 4, 5, 6 hours in the rain. The water will not soak into the garment. It will not get heavy. You will not be holding or carrying loads of water, so that when it gets cold, when you have loads of water and it gets cold and you're riding along at 70, 80 miles an hour, the wind chill effect can make such a jacket make you feel very cold. You will not get wetting out with this jacket. Now, what Halvarssons has done, and I don't think we are fully supportive of this, every jacket, every motorcycle jacket, every trouser has what we call a durable water repellent. It's a coating, it's a waterproof coating. It's that coating that when you pour water on it, it causes the water to pool and run off. It's the first barrier of waterproofing. So it doesn't do the job of the membrane, and eventually it's going to wear off. But what Halvarssons have done with this jacket, they've given it a particularly heavy-duty durable water repellent. It's actually a Teflon DWR. Now, that means this jacket's going to be even more waterproof, as though lamination was not enough. They've got an outer barrier on this that's going to be particularly waterproof. So, fair enough. The downside is, I think it makes this jacket less comfortable to wear because it's crisped up the fabric. But Billy, if you move around, you can kind of hear the noise. This coating I think it's a shame because it means the jacket is not as comfortable as, for example, the Valkyr and Wish combination, which is the same fabric, it's the same membrane, but that's much more comfortable to wear. So a bit of a shame, but the upside is that you are getting extraordinary levels of waterproofing. In terms of venting, you've got 2 big vents here up the front and 2 large ones down the back. Good quality waterproof zips, and of course that's important in a laminated garment because when you have a vent zip in a laminated garment, because the membrane is bonded onto the outer fabric, water can come straight through. Or the air comes straight through, but so can water. So you need a high quality zip because if you don't have that, water's going to come in, you're going to get wet. You've negated the benefits of having a laminated jacket in the first place. In terms of thermal, again, this is pretty state of the art. Halvarssons work a lot with Outlast. Now, Outlast is an amazing material. This inner lining is made using Outlast. Outlast absorbs heat and holds heat in paraffin molecules. So what you do before you go out on a cold day, you wear it for a little while, you get heat into it. It holds that heat. When you get cold, it plays it back. It's very thin, but it's very effective. It's fantastic stuff. We find it on a number of rucker jackets and so on. But added to that, Halvarssons has infused this inner jacket also with Thinsulate. So a combination of Thinsulate and Outlast in one jacket, that's pretty much as warm as you're ever going to get this side of going electric. Thermal insulation is particularly important in a laminated jacket. I'm just going to remind people of this, and that's because when you laminate the membrane onto the outer fabric, you lose an air gap. So intrinsically, laminated garments are less warm than drop liner garments. So if you've got a laminated garment, it's particularly important that you do have a good thermal liner. In terms of protection, we've got Halvarssons' latest level 2. It's a softer, it's an armour they introduced again back in spring 2018, but it comes with protectors in the elbows and the shoulders. I've got that wrong again. That's the shoulders and the elbows. There's pocket for a back protector. It doesn't come as standard. We do not like Halvarssons' standard back protector. It's like a surfboard. We tend to fit a D30 T8. It takes Velcro. We've put a Velcro strip on it. It goes in there. It's the same level 2. It's much more comfortable, much nicer to wear. The other thing that, of course, that Halvarssons do across all of their garments, across their pants, their gloves, their jackets, they line it in all the key areas with a material called High Art. Now, High Art does the job of a Kevlar. In fact, it's not an aramid at all. It's a construction that Halvarssons has come up with. But when they line it behind a jacket, it increases the strength of the outer fabric by a factor. Now, on leather, it increases the strength by 200%, so times 2. On a textile garment, it increases the strength of that material by a factor of 500%, so times 6. So this is a particularly safe jacket to wear. And I think that's another point I'd like to make about why this is a great jacket if you're going to be doing your adventure riding on road. A lot of adventure suits, a lot of proper adventure suits are no good in terms of abrasion resistance because they're designed for coming off in the mud and the dirt. So with this suit, you get the looks of an adventure suit, you get some of the benefits of an adventure suit, you get good venting, but if you go down the road, this is a suit that's really going to look after you. In terms of adjusters, it's got loads of adjusters. One of the problems with the Valkyr and Wish, which came out, as I've mentioned a couple of times at the same time, is that had very few adjusters. This is exactly the opposite. This has got more adjusters than you can shake a stick at. You've got these side adjusters here, which enable you to loosen it off if you want to put some different layers on. You've got adjusters here under the arms at the top of the chest. You've got a Velcro belt here at the waist. And you've got, obviously, adjusters at the cuff. This is the way a cuff should be on a high-end motorcycle jacket. You want to open the zip so you can get your glove underneath. You then do the zip. You then cinch the cuff tight to stop any rain being able to come inside that way. In terms of pockets, I've already mentioned you've got 2 pockets here. flap pockets. So these are going to be waterproof pockets because they are obviously made from a laminated material. You've got 2 extra pockets on the inside as well. So that's pretty much everything on the jacket. If we look at the pants, in terms of construction, they are identical, made from the same material. It's a 2-layer laminate using a Dryway Plus membrane. You've got some extra bits and bobs. You've got some leather in the seat so you don't slide around on the bike. Comes with braces, and obviously it will zip into the jacket as well. So that's it. That's the Luxor combination. Sorry, one thing I forgot to mention. This is a supposed adventure suit. The legs are wide enough to take a, I suppose, a crossover adventure boot. So something like the TCX Drifters, the TCX Bahas. I don't think you would get a real heavy-duty, big plastic off-road boot underneath these, but you certainly could a crossover adventure boot. No problem getting something as thick as that under these trousers. So that's the Luxor combination. It's a great suit. As I've said, in our view, not a proper off-road adventure suit, but if you do most of your adventure riding on the roads, you're not going to go wrong with this. You could commute in it, you could go touring in it. It pretty much does everything you would ever want. So that was the Luxor and Lux combination from Halvarssons. £430 for the jacket, £340 for the pants. If you would like to check out more Halvarssons items or maybe look at other laminate suits that we offer, then visit the website motolegends.com. To learn more about the suit itself, then if you click on one of the links, sometimes they're up top, sometimes they're down below, that will take you directly to the relevant page on our website. You can read the spec in more detail, you can check on availability, and if you are really taken with the suit, you can buy one there and then. Now, when you buy from us, we try to make the process as simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There is no delivery charge on anything you buy from us, and once you've received something, if you've changed your mind for whatever reason, if you want to return it, again, that's at our cost. And we give you a full 12 months to decide whether to do that, so there's no rush, there's no pressure. We have an unbeatable price promise here. John Lewis is very famed for their never knowingly undersold promise. We go one better. John Lewis will match a competitor's price, but if you find anyone selling anything we sell at a price that is lower than ours, we will beat their price by a full 10%. If that competitor's in the EU and not in the UK, we will match their landed price. There are a few terms and conditions on the website, nothing particularly onerous, but if you are going to access a price beat, then might be worth spending a couple of seconds visiting the website. If in the future you'd like to get information from us about new products, then you could sign up for our bulletins. At the top of every page on the website, there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on there. Within seconds, you'll be in business. In future, you'll receive bulletins from us. If, however, you prefer to get your information in this format, in other words, videographically, we would be simply delighted if you want to become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the button below. Finally, I'd like to make a little play for our fabulous little shop here in Guildford. We are based on the edges of Guildford, about a mile from the town centre, a mile from the railway station. The footprint of the shop is pretty small, but it's attached to our warehouse, 3 floors, £2 million worth of merchandise. Technically, it makes us the second largest shop in the country. But we think we are far more than just the amount of merchandise we have here in the building. We're all about service, we're all about personal fitting and so on. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star ranking in the business. Come and see us. We have a chat about what it is you require, the kind of riding you do. What we then try to do is manage or match the gear we have here to the kind of riding that you undertake. We'll sit you down. We will have a cup of the finest Italian illy coffee or give you a pot of Yorkshire tea, and who knows, if you are really lucky, you may even get one of Sean's mum's delicious motorcycle-shaped shortbread biscuits. Anyway, this has been Chris at Motolegends. I hope to talk to you again soon.